Here with sophomore center Austin Douglas, one of the leaders of this Northwest offense. Get a loss, 7-point loss at East Mississippi. Obviously the shot at a national title is out of the mix now, but chance to win a couple games in a row and possibly win a state championship right back at East Mississippi. What's the focus of the guys in practice all week?
You know, we're just really right now focused on Jones, beating them, and just keep the mindset going to play Gulf Coast the week after that, and then we beat them, we can go back and play East Mississippi and just get even with them. We may not make it to the national championship, but we still got a chance to make a state and still go into a bowl game. What's
been the attitude? I know you guys, the practice schedule is a little bit different playing on a Saturday, but the attitude after that loss, the offense did its job. It's just a high-powered offense like East Mississippi. They're going to get theirs. It was just a back-and-forth kind of game. So, I'm sure you guys were down after the loss, but like I said, how do you get through the win this week and not overlook Jones?
Yeah, we're staying positive. We know what we got to do. Even though it's not just a must that we got to beat Jones to get in the playoffs, it's still, everybody's hungry still here, and everybody wants to win. I think we're going to get the win and go to playoffs in the state again. That's just the thing. We got to stay focused and not overlook anybody right now, because anybody can get beat on any given day.
Here with freshman Lawon Debardelaben, talking about the East Mississippi game last week. It's two high-powered offenses. Unfortunately, we were on the losing end, lost by a touchdown. But I asked Austin the same thing. What's the mindset this week? I know that it's a different week of practice playing on a Saturday, but going in with a lot to play for still. What do you guys think about this week?
Just getting our head back in the game and getting back on that winning streak.
Another interception for this defense. I believe we had 2 interceptions actually. We still lead the country with 20 interceptions, 4 returned for a touchdown. Aaron Thompson with a 79-yard touchdown. I've asked this week after week, what makes you guys so deadly finding the football?
We just, if the ball goes in the air, we just talk to get up under it, knock it down, and catch it.
The East Mississippi team that was averaging about 50 points a game, their receivers got theirs, our receivers got ours as well. But talk about their receivers. That's probably the best group of receivers we're going to see all year long. There's guys that I think the names in there, Ohio State, Alabama, stuff like that. So talk about their receivers and just how we matched up with them.
They had some pretty good receivers that ran some pretty good routes, and we just had to stick with them.
How do we come back this week? A lot to still to play for. I mean, we win this week over Jones. We win 2 games in the postseason, and just like that, we're playing in a bowl game, a chance to win 9-10 games. Obviously upset after the loss last week, but how do we not overlook Jones this week with an offense that likes to run the football a lot?
We just got to keep doing what we're doing and keep making tackles.
Here with freshman Darreall Joyner last week against East Mississippi, 8 catches, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the fifth most receiving yards in a single game. You basically provided a deep ball that we really hadn't had all year. How are you able to make so many passes and get open and score touchdowns?
Well, first off, give thanks to the linemen for making good blocks, good checks. The quarterback for checking off any plays that wasn't going right, and finding me. But most off, before I want to give thanks to God, because that game was really dedicated to Him. I feel like He helped me out with that game.
14 catches through the first 6 games of the year, and you had 8 in that game versus East Mississippi. As far as the target-wise, and you had 2 long touchdowns, a 35-yard touchdown and a 65-yard touchdown. On the other side of the field, their receivers are pretty special too, but I think our guys rivaled them pretty well. So just talk about, the core around you and how well the rest of our core play. I know Swinney had over 100 yards receiving as well, so just talk about the whole unit for us.
Well, basically, our whole unit as a receiver core, we take real pride in, not dropping balls, especially in practice. So, but as a core, though, we all have grown to, love each other, growing around, and, everybody knows how each other react. People can get on certain guys and tell them, when they're slacking up, when they're doing wrong. But, basically as a receiver core, we all have come together and, just made a decision that we just going to, go hard for the rest of the year.
The 421 yards receiving combined for all of y'all was the most this year. The Dominique Harris that's the 5th most in a single game as well, 421 passing yards. You're trying to overlook last week. It's a 7-point loss. We dropped, out of the top 10 in the polls. Still a ton to prove. How do we not overlook Jones this week? It's a team that runs the football really well. How do we come right back this week, forget last week, and win the next 3 games and get back to Scuba, Mississippi?
Well, every game is a big game. That's how, going back toward the Scuba game. I just looked at that game as every game's a big game. You know, you try to not to make it bigger than what it is. But like I say, with every game being a big game, Jones County, we're not going to single them out, being that we already made the playoffs. So we just going to come out here and continue to work hard every day.
Tough loss last weekend. Time to refocus this week. Get ready for Jones County. We know they run the football really well. They almost have a 1,000-yard rusher this year, being really good against the run. You know, gave up 56 points last week, but it's against an offense that we won't face like that all year long. How do you get back refocused this week and get ready for another big game?
Well, it's just sort of like a boxer. He loses one round, he's got to go in there and fight again. You know, I mean, you try to bounce back and do better the next time. You know, I thought we played with a lot of effort this week. We played a really good football team, and we come up on the short end of the stick. But I think we're going to be focused. It's homecoming, and getting back on the winning track is what we want to do.
It's an extra week of practice, basically, or it's a long week of practice.
Right.
Having a Saturday game. What different will you do this week compared to a usual Thursday game?
Well, we'll have one more day of practice, but one thing is just sort of heal up some injuries. I mean, we needed a long week because we've been bunged up, bruised up, and still are, so we can get everybody well. I was proud it fell at this time.
It's an uphill climb. It's not out of the realm of possibility to win the state championship, get a chance to play in a decent bowl game. We're going to have to beat a top 20 opponent this week, the first round of the playoffs, and possibly the state championship just to get that chance.
Right.
It's been a tough schedule. We have a possibility to play 5 top 20 opponents here this season. Just talk about this league and the parity of the league and how there's 5 teams in the top 20 right now.
Well, any week
nothing's easy.
Nothing's easy, and what it is, it's just so brutal because you get people injured, and just according to which ones you get injured, nobody's got a lot of depth. But it's a brutal league. It's a great league of football. People who don't come to watch junior college football need to, because it's a great league. But the Mississippi League is, bar none, I think, the toughest in junior college.
We had numerous good individual performances in the game against East Mississippi. You have a guy like Darreall Joyner, who has 208 yards receiving. That's the 5th most in a single game. Dominique throws for 421. That's the 5th most in a single game. 606 yards the offense, the most we've had all year. On the other end of that, we give up 600 plus as well. But how do you come back in a game this week and correct those things that quickly with a team that is going to want to run the football?
Well, it's just a whole different offense, and the thing about it is, Scuba was just so explosive offensively. They were the best offensive team we've played since I've been here in 5 years, and I don't think nobody was close to them. But it's a whole different scheme. You got a framework of what you work in, but you got keys which will change a little bit. So we'll be more run oriented, stop than pass oriented this week.
Win or lose this weekend, one thing we know for certain, we're in the postseason. That's a good feeling.
We're in the postseason.
It's a good feeling. Last year it was up in the air.
Right.
We thought we got in. That's a whole fiasco. Anyway, we're in this year. 2 possible opponents could be going to Gulf Coast or to Jones County. That's if everything falls into place. We're most likely going to Perkinston. It's probably about a 90% chance to go there. So, it's another team. That's a number 9 team in the country. Not overlooking the game this weekend, but having to go on the road, a long road trip. Do you look forward to that game at all? Like, are you already trying to maybe plan ahead for that game, or are you just waiting until this week?
We won't start on Gulf Coast to Sunday.
Okay, well, Coach, best of luck this week. Looking for win number 7 on the year. This will be we've already had it locked up now, but 32 winning seasons in the last 33 years. Quite an accomplishment. And hopefully another win for the Rangers on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.